Hi boys and girls, it's been a while since I made my last vid, but as I said, I was going back to Turkey to get my hair done for a second time. Arrived Thursday night, had the transplant on the Friday, first hair wash on the Saturday, and then I flew home on the Sunday. It was Good Friday, so I had the day off on the Friday, and obviously Easter Monday, so I had the day off then, and also I took the Thursday off, so I only needed to take one day off work. I've got so much to say, probably take quite a while, so what I'm going to do is make a couple of videos about different things. This one's just going to be basically showing you my new hair and the whole process from start to finish, what I did this previous weekend. For those that are thinking of going or anything like that, I'm just going to go through step by step like I did before for my first trip. That video lasted nearly an hour, and someone met me this weekend who told me that they'd just watched it for nearly an hour. So I'm going to try and make this one a bit shorter, and that's why I'm going to make a couple of videos. This one obviously about my hair. I'm going to make another video about the differences between my first transplant and the second one, and obviously you know that I went to Dr Cinik for the first one and the second one, and they've moved to a different premises now, a different clinic in a different part of the city. So I'm going to make a video about the differences between the first clinic and the second one, because the second one was amazing. It's new, everything is better about it, so that deserves more time than what I'm going to do on this video, because this one's just going to be about my hair. So like I said, I flew out there Thursday night. I went up to Heathrow, got an Uber up there. This time I flew with Turkish Airlines, and I got luggage allowance on the way there and back. And I'm quite glad I did, because I had so much stuff, and I took my girlfriend and she had loads of stuff. So we put our luggage in the hold, so we didn't have to worry about it then. Checked in online, we went to check in online, but it didn't allow us to. So we checked in when we got to the airport. They like to check when we got to Heathrow that your vaccinations for COVID, which we had on our phones. You have to show them those. Obviously we've been fully vaccinated. If you haven't, then I guess you'd have to do a COVID test and that sort of thing. So it's up to you to check that out. As I'm from England, this time I didn't need a visa, so that's one less hassle. Checked in, fine, got on the plane. The good thing with Turkish Airlines is they give you food on the plane. When I went with BA, they don't class it as long haul, so you have to buy food. So arrived in Istanbul. So you book your hair transplant, and I'm obviously going on where I went at Dr Cinik. That's another thing, we always say Dr Cinik in England. In Turkey they find this very funny because they pronounce his name as Dr Cinik. So we've obviously say Cinik is how we read it, but they say it as Cinik. So you book your hair transplant. It comes through as an email then, tells you exactly where you've got to meet, that sort of thing. You get all the details. They have obviously your phone number and that. So what you do is you have your WhatsApp on. They work a lot through WhatsApp, or you can use email and that sort of thing. One thing is your phone. Mine, I'm with 3, and they allow you to use your phone in most countries. You can use your UK allowance. Unfortunately in Turkey they don't, and it costs £1.50 a megabyte, so it's very expensive. So what you can do is buy either a SIM when you get there, take yours out and put the other one in. But if you've got like a newer phone, like I've got an iPhone 12 at the moment, you can use what's called an eSIM. You buy your eSIM, you either, if you've got a computer, you can then scan the picture on the computer, because they email you a QR code, you scan that and it will set it up, or you can type the details into your phone. I paid $7 because it was in dollars, which was about £5.50. This gives you 3 gigs worth of data. It was only data, you don't get like a new number or anything, and it lasted for 8 days, which was more than enough for my long weekend. Turn your English SIM off just before you get on the plane, and then when you arrive in Turkey you turn the eSIM on, which is like your travel SIM, it literally just picks up straight away. I think it worked on Turkcell. The clinic can WhatsApp you, and if you've got any problems you can obviously WhatsApp them or phone them through WhatsApp or whatever. So basically you arrive at the airport. I arrived at Istanbul airport, which is the new one. Again, was different from what I went to before because the other airport is now closed to passenger traffic. Collected my luggage, came out. You don't go outside of the airport, and that's one very important point. If you go outside the airport, you can't just walk back in. You have to go to departures, go all the way through departures, the metal detector, then go back down to arrivals. So make sure you follow the directions that the clinic sends you. So you basically come out, turn left. This is obviously for the airport I went to. Make sure you follow the instructions for your one. Go to this little company. If there's no one there, just wait there and they will turn up. They arrange your ground transportation from the airport to the hotel. This was a Mercedes minivan, which is what we used the whole weekend. So it's nice and comfortable. It was me, my girlfriend, and this other guy, I think it was a French guy, was there. So we travelled in the minivan. It's quite a long drive actually. Well, it's about 35-40 minutes to get into Istanbul. So we went to the hotel. I stayed this time at, it was called the Renaissance Hotel, and it was really nice, really good. Had a lovely buffet breakfast. On top, if you do stay at the Renaissance, I think they use a couple of hotels, but if you stay at the Renaissance, or even if you're not staying there, you can, there's like a restaurant on the top floor, and it's really nice. It's not as cheap as obviously the restaurants down the street. Hotels are always slightly more expensive, but it was well worth the money because you get amazing views. My advice would be go in the evening before it gets dark, then you can sit down, get a window seat, and as the sun's going down you then get the night view with all the lights lit up, and you can see the bridge and everything, so it's really nice. You can even go up there just for drink. It also had a gym which my girlfriend used while I was getting my hair done. There's parks nearby. Got a swimming pool which was actually shut till the start of May because they're refurbishing it, but the room was nice and comfy. The beds were very comfortable. I really love the beds. That was the hotel sorted. I'd got a message saying we're going to be picking you up at 8:30 in the morning. So I got up, I found out breakfast starts at 6:30, so I got up pretty nervous because obviously you're going to be having a medical procedure. It's quite nerve-wracking. So went down to breakfast, lovely buffet breakfast which is included in the price. You want to eat something, just, you know, settle your stomach and that sort of thing. It's good to have some food inside you. You don't want to have coffee or caffeine. You know, I probably wouldn't drink too much as well because you obviously you're going to be sat down for quite, or lying down having the operation for quite a while. So I did that. Got picked up bang on time. Dr Cinik's now got like his own minivans that come and pick you up with the Cinik name on the side of them. Drivers are really great, they're really friendly. Just come into the hotel, they'll be waiting in the reception area in the hotel lobby. Make sure you're on time because they are always on time. Got into the minivan, and this time there was a couple of others came with us, and we drove up to the hospital. I then went into the hospital, and they might do things slightly different order depending what time you arrive, that sort of thing, but you have your blood done where they check your blood for HIV and hepatitis, that sort of thing, and also they check for, I think they take the blood for PRP. But they do a new thing, the ECG, where they literally, you sort of pull your t-shirt up and they put these little sticky pad things on, and they put them on your chest, on your wrists and on your ankles, and they do your ECG to make sure you're healthy and everything. We went to have the hair analysis where they've got some new equipment where you basically sit down and they've got like this machine that goes over, and it does like a, they use their hand, it's like a hand scanner kind of thing, and it it comes up on the computer screen, and you can basically see a real close-up of your scalp and each hair and the grafts, and you can see your single, doubles, triples or whatever. And the person operating it, she was showing me, basically I seem to have quite a few singles around that area, but I had quite a few doubles and triples at the back, which are good for density, and the singles you obviously want in the front. So had that done. It's all really new equipment. That was really impressive. They sort of press a button and it takes photos. You have different angles, different parts of your scalp taken photos of, so that you can see close-ups of it. This was really impressive and is really good because they at least know exactly what areas to take the hair from, the grafts, and it worked really well. After that, we went in to see Dr Cinik for my hair consultation with him. It was nice meeting up with him again after 3.5 years. People say to me, why have I waited so long? I was supposed to go back, I think it was about 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago, but then COVID struck, so it was cancelled. So finally got around to it. I had some time off, I could get the day off work, and so it was booked for this weekend. People said, did I have Dr Cinik this time doing my incisions? No, I had his sister doing them this time. Dr Cinik gets booked up more in advance, so he was, I think, booked up that day, but his sister was great. And it turns out, they told me at the end of the operation, that she actually worked on me in 2018 as well, doing, I think it was the extractions or planting the hair. And I also had another member of staff that was working on me this time, and they worked on me back in 2018, so that was good. I actually sent them pictures before I went to the clinic and said these were who were working on me before. I don't know if they still work there even, but you know, that was a nice little surprise. In our meeting with Dr Cinik, he came around and sort of inspected my hair, sort of looked through it closely, asked me lots of questions where he fills in a sheet, like, are you on medication, that kind of thing. Then talking about your hair, he's asking me about my hairline, was I happy with it from previously, and I was. He asked to see a picture of me, which luckily I did have on my phone this time, of before I was balding, sort of 20 years ago. So I showed him a picture and he said, yeah, your hair hasn't changed that much, the hairline, so he was quite happy with that. He asked if I was happy, and yes, I was very happy with my hairline from the first operation. It was probably better than when I was a child. My hair used to, even as a kid, it used to sort of recede quite a lot at the sides. So he said, do I want to lower it at all? I said, not really. And my main concern is my crown. That's why I was coming back. People say, why did you go back for a second time? The first operation, we really concentrated on the hairline. The second operation, I wanted to concentrate on the crown because I could have got away with it. It had hair on it. It wasn't as thick as I wanted. So this trip was basically to do the crown, which is quite a hard area to do because you have to, it's called, I think it's a wall or whirl or however you pronounce it, where the hair kind of goes round diagonally. So it's hard to get, but I'm really hoping they've done a good job. So far it looks amazing and I'm very pleased with it. We decided on most of the grafts going into the crown, but Dr Cinik also suggested maybe topping up the front if there was enough grafts. So as you can see, there were enough because they did manage to top up the front a little bit. He said to me, the first time I had the operation, they used beard grafts from under there. So he said, did I mind if they did that again, if they needed to? I said, no, it's fine. Nobody ever looks under there anyway. But in the end, they didn't need to use beard grafts this time. So we just used grafts from the sides and the back, right up the top. Dr Cinik draws the hairline on, and then he drew a lot of different lines round the back, round the sides. Then his sister came in and they discussed what we were going to do, the plan. I was happy to leave it up to them, you know, they're the experts, so I let them decide what was best. They discussed it, then it was time for the operation. One thing I forgot to mention, obviously before the operation they take you into the hairdressers, and it's like a proper barbershop now. They got all the sort of barbershop type chairs, so you sit in the chair and literally buzz cut straight off all the hair. You've had your lines drawn on, so your lines are sort of visible where Dr Cinik's drawn the lines on your skin. So I took my t-shirt off. They give you a gown, like a black gown to wear. I had my jeans on. They also give you a pair of slippers. Then you get onto the bed. You take a pill, I think it's a Xanax pill, which is to relax you. You then do the first part is the extractions. This time they started at the back. Last time they'd started on my beard on the first one, but this time they started on the back. So I was on my stomach on the bed. It's got like a hole. It's like one where you can put your face through. It's one of those sort of massage tables. So they did the injections, and I said to them, "Are you going to use the pre-anaesthetic? Was that included?" And they said, "Yeah, they can use it." It's like I've said before. It's like a kind of clicker thing, you know, like those things that you get for lighting fires that you click. It kind of reminds me of that, but it's sort of smaller. But you can feel it. It just clicks, and it just clicks, click, click, click. And they sort of go round there, round there, round there, round there, and after that it kind of numbs the area. And some people don't like the feeling of it. To me, it just feels like someone's going like that to you. And then when they've done that, they then inject. It's the big thing, the injections. Yes, no one loves injections, but I really didn't feel that phased by them this time. I guess because I knew kind of what to expect. This time they did the back, and they do them pretty quickly. It's literally 1, 2, 3. So by the time your brain's just registering one, the next one's been done, then the next one. They massage the area a lot, so it sort of spreads it out, and it was fine. Literally the area goes numb very quickly. They then kind of use a sharp tool, and they just touch your skin, and they say, if you feel pain, say pain. If not, just say no. So you tell them, and then if there's one little spot that maybe you can feel still, they'll just top up with another injection. So when you're nice and numb, they then start doing the extractions. Dr Cinik told me this time they'd be using a slightly smaller punch. I obviously just let them get on with it because they're the experts. So he was using, or his sister was using, a slightly smaller punch, and they've got the motorised one, which I could hear on certain parts, but I think certain parts they were using a manual one as well. I was obviously face down, so I couldn't really see any of what was going on. I could just hear the motorised one. So they basically do one side of your head, and then they do the back, and so they'll ask you to lie on your side at some point, and then on your stomach, and then on your other side. For me, that's probably the hardest part of the operation, just lying still for so long. But you know, you deal with it. You have your extractions done. Then they started doing the implanting, and this time they started on the crown because that's obviously where we wanted to concentrate on. And they did that, and then they did the front. This time I had my incisions done before lunchtime, before I had them done straight after lunch, I think, if I remember correctly. So his sister basically started doing all the incisions, and like I said before, you just can't feel it. They took some photos of me because they said, did I mind if they came in? I was like, no, it's fine. And it was really interesting for me to see photos of somebody actually working on me. So I've had all the incisions done, and then they did the ones on the front, then stopped for a quick bite to lunch and quick toilet break. Had really nice lunch. It was really filling meal. It was big, sort of came in a tray. You lift the top off, and you know, there's dessert, roll, there's meat, rice. It had a drink. It was really nice. After this, they then start implanting the grafts. I was, as always, started dozing off. You've got like a TV screen above you, and they have music videos and that sort of thing. And I was just, I was so relaxed. I was just miles away. I did drop off to sleep a few times. It's actually embarrassing because you suddenly wake up and you forget where you are. And they sort of said, "Don't move," you know, because I kept falling asleep and then suddenly waking up. That was the operation. It took, they said it was going to take 6 to 7 hours, but it didn't take as long as that, I don't think. It took, basically I started around about 10:30, I think. I went in there to start, and we finished, we had a small lunch break. I mean, literally, I just wanted to get on with it, so I just had my lunch really quickly. And I think it was about 4 o'clock we finished. So after that, you know, when you stand up you have to be careful because you're a bit dizzy. The other thing I forgot to mention is when you're in there they do the PRP injection. So they showed me that, and this time I had FUE with a sapphire blade. I've often wondered, is that like a marketing ploy? But I honestly feel my skin does seem to be healing a lot quicker this time. For a couple of days after, I literally hadn't realised, I almost forgot I had a hair transplant, and I kept going to lie down and thinking, blimey, you know, I've got to get my neck pillow and lie on my back. I was about to lie on my side. I completely forgot because I could not feel anything. I know it was numb for a while, but compared to last time, my swelling is so much less. So maybe the sapphire blade has helped. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to say is this time they put a cannula, I think it's called, in your arm, and they put like a drip. I think it's like a saline drip to keep you hydrated and that kind of thing. So that, you just have to kind of keep your arm in the same position. That was there while I was lying on my back. And I got like one of those sort of motorised beds where it sort of comes up like that, so all the time they got you in completely the right position for what they need to work on you. After the operation I went in, and they've got translators on every floor now, and the translator was there and she was chatting to me and sort of saying how was it going, and I said yeah, it was amazing this time. Maybe because I knew what was going to happen and you knew how it would feel, but it just looked very neat and tidy. I was very impressed straight away. The whole team were very friendly, and you know, I asked if we could have some selfies and that sort of thing. So we had some photos done. Then with the translator, she got my Aftercare sort of package. So you get like a bag like this, and it comes with a folder like this. I think 403 was the room I was in. Then you get some paperwork. So this one is basically tells you all the pills. Literally, it's really good because when you're having the operation, so much is going through your mind. You're trying to take everything in, and they're telling you things. So this is great because this is where it's all written down. So if you forget stuff, you just have a look on here. They now use QR codes, which is cool because you can scan it with your phone and it will bring up a video to show you, like for example, your hair wash. So the first thing we kind of went through, this you can read through when you get home or back to your hotel. But the important thing for the first few days is your pills. They give you a few pills. There's literally quite a few of them, so you get like bags like this full of them, and they each do different things, so you have to kind of remember when to take them, which is cool because they go through it with you, but they write it on here as well. So I had like, one's called Lanzadin, which is gastroprotective, which protects your stomach. So you take that before breakfast. You then get one called Cipro, which is an antibiotic. You take one after breakfast for 10 days. Then there's one called Pyrofen, which is a painkiller, only when needed, like every 6 hours if needed. I've not taken one yet because I've been fine, I've literally had no pain. So yeah, after that was the first night, had a lovely meal in the restaurant, great views, really enjoyed that. Had a great sleep, cut it myself just a little bit shorter. I sort of shaved it, I think it was grade 7 on top and about 4 on the sides and back, just so that it was easier for Dr Cinik to look at my crown area, because if it was long it would have just been harder for him to look at. I was quite nervous about sleeping it up because obviously in a hotel most of the pillowcases are white, and your first night, I know from previous time that you do bleed a little bit, even though you've got your bandages on, it kind of goes through sometimes. And I literally took a little towel with me in my suitcase, but they've even thought of that now, you don't need that. They give you this, which is like plastic on one side and soft on the other side, so you put this on your pillow. Now this looks a bit grotty because that is where I bled onto it. But this time I bled hardly at all. It's literally, this was first couple of nights, it doesn't bleed now. And so yeah, I put that on to the pillowcase, and then you put your neck pillow. That was the other thing. They now give you these neck pillows, which are better than the old ones. The old ones used to be inflatable, these ones are better. Last time, and I'm not going to talk about this more in my video comparing one hair transplant to the next, but how I sleep this time is I put that around my neck. They said to me, don't sleep sat up like I was before, because all the pressure was sort of going downwards. I was kind of sleeping like that, all the pressure was going to the front, so as the anaesthetic, it was kind of swelling around my eyes. And you get the headband, that's another new thing. You get, they used to be just sort of fixed, you had to put it over. Now they got Velcro, so you can fix them together. So you sort of put it on and it goes like that. You want it down near your eyebrows, you don't want it up near the grafts, and this basically stops the swelling going down. They don't want you looking down like this on your phone all the time. You want to be sort of, keep your head back, and I think this has really helped this time, because when I sleep I put the neck pillow on, I have one pillow, and then I sleep lying down. So you don't want to, I'm not at an angle, I'm not at 45 degrees, I'm kind of lying down on my back. I've got the neck pillow, and I take this off at night. I'll just put it on now just to show you. And what I do is I sleep with the neck pillow just on a normal pillow, and then by lying like that my head's on the neck pillow, and none of the grafts touch the pillow at all. So that's been great, and I literally have not swollen up as much as I did before. Maybe it might happen in a few days, but at the moment it's feeling pretty good. I'm not swelling at all. So I'll just take that off because it's getting a bit hot. So on the paperwork you get all of the instructions you need, which tells you don't smoke for 2 weeks, no sex for 2 weeks, no alcohol for 2 weeks, avoid dusty environments, protect your head from impacts. It's important when you get in the taxi, kind of put your hand like that on the top and really get down, because when your head's numb you just won't. So many people do smack their head at getting into the taxis, you have to be so careful, and on the plane. So all the instructions are here, treatments, what each of the pills do. So they give you a pack as well. You get a shampoo, and you get this, which is pre-shampoo, it's like a foam. So, and you also get this, which is very useful. It's aloe vera. You never used to get this, so this was very good. You store this in the fridge to keep it nice and cold. So I've been fine, but when they took the bandages off the back, you do get like a slight burning sensation in the donor area where it feels really hot. So this is really nice and soothing. You just put some on your hand and just rub it in. It's only for the donor area, but it's nice and soothing and cool. So you use that. So yeah, the next day I went back, same thing, got picked up slightly later. This time it's for the first hair wash, which is cool. They've got like a proper, the seat kind of goes like that, like an angle, and you just lie back in it. They put the soothing foam on first. So they do this for you, just to sort of show you how sort of firm you should be pressing and that sort of thing. So it's very good. So you do that, and this is when you get your headband as well. You get that on the sort of the day after. You basically sit there for, it says on here, half an hour to an hour, let the foam all sink in. Then they do the shampoo, so they kind of wash the foam, any that's left on there. This shampoo is really good. It's for all hair types, daily use, caffeine, keratin, biotin, provitamins, niacin, B5, sulfate free, colour free, paraben free. It's literally really pure and it's really good. I've always used really cheap shampoo, but this is great for something when you first had your hair done, and it lasts for ages. I mean, the first time I had my hair done, I had a couple of these and they just last for ages. So I use them all up. It's like baby shampoo. It's really soft on your hair, so it's good for it. It's got no harsh chemicals or anything like that. So they show you how to wash your hair, which is cool. Then after that, I had my my headband I put on. We then went and I did a session in their laser session, which that wasn't there last time, so that will be in my next video. But you basically sit there with this, it's called red light therapy, some people call it. And there's a guy called Thomas DeLauer. I watch his YouTube videos, and he's got his own home one now, which is really good. He uses it to energise himself and things like that. It's supposed to help with the healing and that kind of thing. So I thought, yeah, I'll have a go on it. Tried it out. It's really good. It's nice just to sit there and relax for 15. I think it was about 15 minutes I was there. And the other good thing is they say, you can come back and have a PRP session, or you can have a laser session if you live locally. Unfortunately, for me, it would be expensive flying all the way out to do something like that. But I know a guy who actually lives, I was talking to yesterday, who lives in Istanbul. He had his hair done there. He goes in weekly for his laser session. He goes in once a month for the PRP. So yeah, if you live local, that's really cool. They also give you this now, which is your results of your blood tests, which shows I was negative on all the things. They also give you the little printout of your ECG. I don't know what it means, but it looks good. So hopefully my heart and everything's fine. You get this, which is like a thing for when you go through the airport. If you've got, obviously, on the way home I used hold luggage again for any of the shampoos, because these are like 250 millilitres, so they're over the 100 millilitre liquid rule, and I didn't want to risk them being taken off me, so I put those in the hold luggage. All the pills I got some vitamins and that sort of thing. I've put those in my hand luggage. You could put them in your hold luggage if you've got room. But the pills they give you, like the painkillers and stuff like that, they're all listed on here. So they basically give you this, which you can show the people at the airport if they sort of say, why have you got all these pills on you? And it just tells them what you've got and lists them all, and it's got like a signature and date saying you were treated with hair transplant on this date. You get a guarantee certificate. Basically they want to make sure you get good results, and you want good results. It obviously benefits them if you've got great result, because other people will want to go to them. So you got the thing, so it basically says send your pictures, and it gives you the email address or WhatsApp phone number, and it's got pictures like basically looking forwards, left, right and back. So you can use your selfie camera on your phone. So that's the paperwork. One thing I forgot to mention was they do before photos and they do after photos. So the before photos are when you've still got your hair before it's been cut. So they kind of wet it and show the areas that they're going to be working on. You have to do all these different angles in front of the sort of whiteboard. And those photos, they basically blow them up, print them out, and so when you're having your operation, they're all sort of stuck on the wall so that all the staff can see what you look like with your hair long, because obviously you look different once it's been shaved. So they took the photos then, and they did take photos after to show how it's gone. So like I said, this video's already gone on for quite a bit because I do talk a lot. Just wanted to go through it while it's still fresh in my mind, even though I've got some of it in the wrong order. So basically went back the second night, had another meal in the restaurant because I liked it so much, and I missed breakfast the third day because I stayed there 3 nights because I had to go back to the airport really early to get my flight. So they picked me up at 6 AM, took me off to the airport. What I'm going to do is quickly go over the top so you can see my hair. So basically that's the front where they've done. I don't know how well you can see this, but that's the crown area, and it's nicely packed in and tight. So obviously if you can see the donor area that well. The donor area feels a little bit sore today because it's obviously the anaesthetics coming out and that sort of thing. It's just feelings coming back into it. It feels okay because I put some more of the aloe vera on. But they recommend washing it. It gives you instructions, but washing it once per day before you go to bed using the foam and the shampoo. Yeah, so you do 7 hair washes once per day. But after your 7th wash, you have to return to normal showers directly under the pressure of and then you have to try and remove the crusts, the scabs, and any sort of blood that's on it. It's very important. If you don't remove them, the transplanted hairs can't grow. While you're massaging your transplanted area, please do not use nails. It's basically just soft movement with your hands. In 3 days you have to clean them, so basically by your 10th wash they want you to clean all your head from crusts, so scabs, get them removed, and you're kind of back to normal. Then they give you this hat. So if you have to go out in the sun or dust or rain or wind, whatever, this hat for the first sort of 10 days. Then after that you can wear any sort of loose fitting hat. First 10 days I'm still taking the medication they've given me, but you can then, if you want, you can buy extra vitamins, like they do their own multivitamins now. I think they've actually got a website or on Instagram where you can actually buy and they'll ship it to you if you need to buy extra. And you can also get the shampoo if you like, that sort of thing as well. Got the saw palmetto. As you know, I can't take finasteride because I donate blood. So here in the UK we're not allowed to take finasteride if we donate blood, so I take this instead. But you know, I take them, they don't cost hardly anything. Biotin, again, I'll just take, these are twice a day ones. I've not taken these ones before, I've always had ones off Amazon, so I'm going to give these ones a go. But yeah, that was about it really. Flew back yesterday, sorry, Sunday, it's Tuesday now. And in the airport I didn't see that many people with like headbands or who'd had their hair done, but by the time I got on the plane home there was about 3 or 4 other guys on the same plane as me that had their hair done. People get really worried about this, walking around the airport. What happens if people look at you No one looks twice. You know, it's so common out there for people to have headbands on, or to have their hair shaved, or to have like marks like that and that. Nobody looks twice, and even if they did, you're never going to see them again. Most people, if they do look, are just curious as to what you've had done. I actually like talking to people about it, so you know, it doesn't bother me one bit. But so I got back to England, got an Uber home, and basically slept most of yesterday because I was so tired. Slept on my back. That's kind of hard for me because I kind of like moving about, sleeping on my side, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to have had it done, and like I said, I'm going to release some more videos telling you more about the new clinic compared to the old one, about my my experience of what I felt was different with this one compared to the old one. I'm going to mention all of the new stuff that they've got in the new clinic. I think those that have been on my social media have seen that I've been buzzing this weekend. I've just been putting photos on. I was genuinely impressed, and I was hyped, I was excited, because I think I wasn't as nervous this time, but like I said, I'm going to say all about this in another video because this one's already getting long. Thanks for watching anyway. A lot of you have said that you wanted to see the second transplant because I know a lot of you are thinking about getting a second one. I was in the same position. I was thinking, should I or shouldn't I? In the end I thought, I'm going to go for it. You know, I'm 47, I'm not getting any younger. I left the first one too late. I kind of wish I'd have done it slightly sooner, so I thought, yeah, I'm going to go for it. And it's kind of nice to have your hair shaved off. It looks a bit different, and I think everyone kept saying to me, do you prefer long hair or short hair? It's funny because guys seem to prefer me with long hair. From comments they sort of said, oh, I think it looks cooler and stuff like that, whereas girls seem to prefer me with short hair. My girlfriend, obviously, she prefers it shorter, and she doesn't mind it shaved like this as well. But I wanted to make the video today because, as you can see, it's already starting to grow. That bit's like my natural hair. This was transplanted last time, so I've topped up a bit there, and then you've got the hair there. But yeah, it's already starting to grow my hair. I really hope I don't shed or get any shot cloths or anything, but I do seem to grow hair really quickly, and what you'll find is the non-transplanted hair, like that sort of bit just there, that will grow a lot faster than the transplanted hair. But my hair, when it gets longer, it takes ages to grow, but when it's really short like this, it seems to grow really fast. So, but that's what it looks like anyway. At the moment it feels kind of like you've had Botox or something, because your skin's so much tighter, it really feels like, it kind of feels younger actually, like your skin is a bit tighter, so maybe that's a bargain as well. But okay, cheers for watching, and until the next vid, hope you're all well.